The inauguration of the new president of the National Association of the Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, also known as NACCIMA, is due next month. The incoming head of the organization, Dele, is currently the president of the Nigeria-Turkish Business Council, and he joins me live now in the studios. Good to have you with us tonight, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming. I think it's a season of inauguration, so you incoming as the president of NACCIMA.
Yes.
Yes. So, what's on your agenda as the incoming president of this very a body that houses the entire Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture across Nigeria?
First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. The first thing I would like to say first is that I don't want to assume everybody know what NACCIMA entails. NACCIMA is the largest business in Nigeria in terms of its membership. It encompasses all chambers of commerce in Nigeria, which is the city, state, bilateral and multilateral chambers of commerce, all in Nigeria. There's no other private sector organization in Nigeria as big as NACCIMA in terms of chambers like Lagos Chamber of Commerce, Abuja Chamber of Commerce are members. And we're in every city, state, and all major cities in Nigeria. As the incoming president, I will be inaugurated on the 8th of June. I intend to focus on promoting the interests of our members by encouraging them to do business in a more sustainable way that is relevant to Nigeria. We also promote their interests by making sure that we encourage government to increase the business climate, favorable business climate, so that we can take full advantage of the African continental free trade, which is something that Nigeria needs to fully take advantage of. We also intend to build relations between local and international stakeholders. So that's my focus.
I'm sure you're coming in at a time when there's a new administration also coming in terms of political leadership transition for Nigeria. So if you're looking at the critical role that NACCIMA should be playing moving forward in terms of ensuring that we have the right of economic, business, environment for commerce, what's your take on that?
Well, for NACCIMA to continue to play its role, NACCIMA needs to advocate for favorable business climate, to encourage the government to reduce the issue of corruption, the issue of governance, which has affected our standing in the international market. Because this has made it difficult for Nigeria, ability for Nigeria to do business or to have favorable business terms. Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. We need to leverage its power by using to create trade hubs. We keep losing trade hubs to smaller countries like Ghana. I don't see how we lose it because we have the market, we have the people, and we have everything. But how we lose this? Ghana has just opened a trade office in Kenya.
In Nairobi.
What are we doing? We should not say we are giant. We need to be right there at the seat. We need to do things. Look at what our youth have done in the various areas of creativity. They are taking the world down. What is the government doing? We don't see government participating. And so we intend to work closely with the new government. And we're quite lucky we have a businessman as a president for the first time. I'm actually very lucky. I didn't need to speak another language to him. I don't need to convince him because he already understands. And if we take Lagos as a principle, we can use the same Lagos template for Nigeria. And I think we'll have a different song after this. I'm quite happy, I'm excited, and I know Nigeria stands to stand fully now and take full advantage of what business can do for it. So NACCIMA would definitely be in the room to make sure we advocate for these policies that will enhance ease of doing business, improve the business climate, and very importantly, to make sure that we're able to negotiate the trade terms which are not favorable to Nigeria, and also get government to diversify from the monoproduct of petroleum to improve agriculture and also exports. So this will definitely increase the basket and improve our trade terms. So these are what NACCIMA is focusing on.
Interesting, you're also sitting on the Nigeria-Turkish Business Council. So tell me about this relation with Turkey.
Well, I can tell you, Turkey is one of the most interesting partnerships Nigeria has. In terms of, it's one of the few countries where both political leadership are ready to do business at 100%. What this means is there's political willingness on both sides. And in fact, Turkey is quite ready and willing to work with Nigeria in every sector. Look at our issue of challenge of security. Turkey has been the game changer for us. You can see when the Turkish drones arrived, the game changed. The fear of insurgency has completely diminished. All these, I'm not saying Turkey is doing everything, but the Turkey involvement has been a game changer. And I think Nigeria should really work very hard because we're almost at the same level as regional powers. And Turkey is not involved in some of those traditional things of maybe someone trying to do business with you and have some discriminatory tendencies. Turkey is working with us with their hearts. And Nigeria should take full advantage of what Turkey has. And Turkey too is also ready. From what I've done so far, I can see that the trade terms has moved from the current $3 billion. And it's going to, the target they gave us is $5 billion for this year. But I think we've already exceeded it because there are a lot of informal trade between Nigeria and Turkey, which is not captured. Because if you go,
official data.
Yeah, because if you go to almost every supermarket, everywhere you go, you see Turkish goods and services in Nigeria. But most of these are not captured. So we are working very hard. The main reason actually I can tell you is that because of the issue of labeling, trying to comply with NAFDAC and language, most of the goods go through Lebanon and Dubai. So it is not treated as an export from Turkey. So it becomes a third country. We are working hard to see how we can address these challenges, address the issue of language, the issue of compliance, so that we can actually record and a more positive trade balance. And I, as president of NACCIMA, I intend to also encourage government to seek such favorable countries who are ready to do business with Nigeria 100%, not just turn Nigeria to a dumping ground, but they're also ready to transfer technology so that we can use the same template of Turkey to deal with other people so that Nigeria can actually maximize its potentials. We have the market here, we have the people, and our people are well read. The issue of manpower is not an issue. So what is the problem?
Because of what you're doing with the Nigerian Turkish Business Council, and I'm sure if you haven't really proved your mettle, you wouldn't be in line as the next president of NACCIMA. So I'm sure all of this exposes you to what you call Nigeria's foreign economic policy and what have you. So I'm just trying to find out from you what you think we need to do internally and what should be our next economic and commercial international trade policy. United States has one. China has one. They know who they're targeting. So I'm trying to find out from you, those of you who are boots on the ground, your exposure to discussing trade and all these deals and relations with international countries outside Nigeria. What do we need to do right to take that rightful place as a major economy in Africa?
Well, our biggest problem is the issue of sole reliance on oil. The new government needs to shift that. Like I've already earlier mentioned, we've seen what our youth are doing with creativity. The Nigerian future is not in oil. It's on its human capital. Our youth have proven it. They've taken down the world in the creative industries. What is government doing? There's no deliberate government policy you can see in Nigeria trying to provide more access, provide more grants so that more people can be in that space. All this you are calling about jackpot, people running out of the best talents going out of Nigeria, is because they are not even aware of the potentials and the opportunities available in Nigeria. Each time I see some of these kids out there, they are suffering. Some of them are regretting going out because they thought the buildings would give rise to food or housing or cars. But they go there, they discover that they have to do some very menial jobs. So what I'm trying to say is government needs to take a deliberate policy, create safe space for our youths. There should be more opportunities where youths who have talents does not have to pay stamp duty, filing fee to be able to register companies. They should be able to go into hubs where they can sit down with their laptops and have connectivity and start working. But what we have now, you have to pay all the traditional issues. And this is the challenge. Then the second issue is the issue of governance I've earlier mentioned, and the issue of corruption. If you don't improve governance and corruption, it affects your ability to your international standing in the international market. What this means is that the cost of borrowing and the cost of attracting investment become higher because there's what we call country risk. So that's why I say I'm excited. I'm having a businessman there who understands all these problems. Because if you are not in business, you will not understand any of this. So the new government needs to create an enabling environment so that it makes Nigeria more attractive. Nigeria already proved this. We have one of the best entrepreneurs in Nigeria. The Dangote, there's nobody like Dangote in Africa. We have enough players in the private sector. All the government needs to do is to get out of business and just be a catalyzer, provide them opportunities, make Nigeria easy to do business. Then the issue of, I must not forget the issue of security, because you cannot build in the midst of fire. If there is no enough security, we cannot be talking about investment. So the business climate had to be very conducive so that there are a lot of people now relocating factories from different countries into Africa to take advantage of the African free trade. What is Nigeria doing to receive these things? Then we must respect agreements under the free trade zones.
Yes.
The Dangote factory would not have been possible at the refinery without it being situated in a free trade zone.
Yes.
And because this current incoming president saw the future and said, the guy went to several states, he was kicked out. But Lagos received him. Look at what they fed now. It is now those states are blaming themselves. Oh, it was your fault, it was your fault. So we shouldn't have the problem of worry. Let me finish. Yes. We shouldn't have the problem of worry where they had so much surplus, they were fighting among themselves, and you see all the companies left. So government needs to make sure to create a conducive environment so that we don't keep leasing companies to smaller countries who have neither capacity, no market, nothing. So this is where we stand as NACCIMA. Our job is to let government know, for you to encourage investment, you must make Nigeria industrial friendly. People can come here and divert their capital here too.
Once you take office, we're going to let you in here again once you took your own inauguration. And then we're going to have this conversation again and see what the future really holds. But then we'll have a new administration in place as well, so we can compare notes. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your coming tonight, sharing your thoughts with us here on Dele, the incoming president of the National Association of Chambers of Commerce of Industry, Mines and Agriculture in Nigeria.